Probably every ship, every fandom. I promise you, I have been in every single fandom there is. Hi, this is my first video and I'm really not built for this influencer shit, but I'm doing it anyways. Um, I'm Lily, I'm 19 years old. I already fucked it up. I'm Lily, I'm 19 years old, I live in Brisbane, Australia, and all this introductory shit makes me feel like I'm gonna give you my security code, but I won't. Oh, what was I gonna say? Anyways, I'm currently a university student. I'm studying a Bachelor of Arts, majoring in sociology, communications, and journalism, but I actually don't want to do any of that. I really want to be a director and I want to work in film. And so I'm starting a YouTube channel because it's the only way I can see myself kind of getting into that area. I should probably tell you a little bit about myself. I don't really have a niche. Like I said, I love film, I love writing. I'm currently writing a short film, which I might talk about later. I love thrifting and I love Girls by Lena Dunham more than I love most people in my life, and I read fanfiction unironically. I go to salvos when I feel like I'm having an existential crisis, and I kind of want to be like Meg Stalter and Lena Dunham's love child with Addison Rae's wardrobe, and that's really specific, but I feel like it's somewhat achievable. Our lighting has gone to shit because the sun went down, and I'm starting to wish I had one of those influencer things where they have like the sunset glow. Anyways, some context because I feel like you should know. I graduated high school maybe 2 years ago, and all throughout high school I was quite introverted. I really kept to myself and kind of stayed in my comfort zone a little bit. And I think that was fine until I graduated and I realized I really didn't go out of myself enough to find out really what it is that I wanted after high school. So when I graduated, I kind of looked around and everyone was like, I want to be an engineer. I want to do medicine. And I was like, I don't really know what I want to do. So I jumped into the first thing I thought of, which was marine science, which is kind of a crazy thing to think about because I did essential math throughout high school and I failed all my science classes. Um, I like passed biology. It was actually my top exam at the end, but that was after like so much work. Um, but I failed most of my science classes in high school, and I guess I kind of wanted to do it because I was like, oh, like I love the ocean, and I care a lot about environmental issues. So I was like, this is my pathway. And then I got into the degree and I was like, this shit is really hard, and I feel super stupid for that. For not knowing that, like, obviously, yeah, marine science, it's a science, it's gonna be difficult, but I guess I wasn't expecting to feel like that isolated and like not like fitting into that degree. And so after a semester, I ended up dropping that degree and I had like a big mental breakdown and an existential crisis. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to be. This is what I thought I wanted to do, but it wasn't right. It didn't fit. And then I looked around at a few universities, a few different courses, and I started a Bachelor of Arts, which I'm doing now. Sorry, I had to get a little bit uncomfortable. Now I'm majoring in communications and journalism, and it's good, it's definitely better, but I don't see myself doing that long term. What I do see myself doing long term is film and creative arts, but whenever I say it out loud, people kind of get this look on their face like they're already preparing to be supportive when it doesn't work out. So it's kind of been difficult to vocalize that that's actually what I want to be doing. I guess despite that, I'm currently working on my short film. It's called Still There, and it's basically about taking shitty sunset photos with your friends. I think on top of that, I've also been really interested in getting into acting, but I've always felt really unphotogenic my whole life. And so a barrier would definitely be kind of being in front of the camera a lot of the time. I think that's kind of been what's stopping me from kind of pursuing, I guess, that side of the arts. And I definitely find a lot of safety, I think, behind the camera rather than being in front of the camera. Um, but that shouldn't be a reason to stop me trying, I guess. But it definitely has been because I'm like, I'm gonna look chopped. They're gonna think I'm ugly. Like, no one's gonna watch the movie because they're gonna think I'm ugly. But I gotta push past that. If I actually want to pursue it, right? Obviously. Anyways, I have a lot more to say, and I feel like my personality is gonna be dulled this part of the video. Guys, I promise. I promise I'm funny. I promise I'm funny. I promise I'm interesting. Just like listen, please. I genuinely have to keep changing how I'm sitting because my leg gets cramped. I'm literally on the floor. I don't know if you can see. I'm literally on the floor right now. Anyways, this whole introduction video is starting to make me feel a little bit like a male podcaster, and I think my worst fear is being perceived as someone who is so severely attention deprived and like is like deeply narcissistic to the point that like people start assuming I've been abandoned as a child. But I think that like if I wanted attention, I'd probably just go to my therapist because I can speak for hours without feeling like a narcissist. So I feel like maybe this is different. Um, but I think as well as the more often I do it, maybe it'll get easier. I wrote a little bit of a list because I can't really pinpoint everything, but just a few things that are really important to me in terms of just like my interests, I think, just so you can get just of my personality a little bit. Um, Girls, like I said in my intro, is extremely, I think the word is developmental. Very, very formative, especially in my 19, like 20 gap. I think like it's becoming more and more important to me as I go through different phases. Meg Stelter, like I also said before, in Too Much and Hacks, important to me. The Virgin Suicides, these are a couple films and TV shows, I think. The Virgin Suicides, I Saw the TV Glow, Girl Interrupted, La La Land, Sharp Objects, Daisy Jones, and The Six. Petra Collins, Sofia Coppola. I'm definitely a One Direction person. I don't even know if I want to put this on the internet because of like, I was gonna say blueprint, what is it called? Digital footprint. I am the biggest One Direction stan there probably ever is. Like I genuinely like feel like they are like the best band in the world, and I was a big Larry Stylinson shipper. I'm not anymore, but I was a massive Larry Stylinson shipper. And side note, going off from that, massive Byler shipper. Massive Byler shipper. Also Marauders. You can probably like know what I'm about to say, but like you get it. So probably every ship, every fandom, I promise you, I have been in every single fandom there is. Like, you name one, I promise you I've been in there. I've been the captain of it. Frank Landon is currently behind me. I am in the pit fandom, like currently. That, yeah, like I said, Hamilton, Marauders, New Girl. New Girl is my favorite show of all time. And yeah, the pit. So I'm also a massive AO3 user. And I don't really know if that needs to be explained. I feel like that's pretty obvious from the things I've mentioned, but massive AO3 user. Yeah, so I guess I don't know if that really sums up my interest. I definitely have more. I guess for like music taste, I really love Charlie XCX, Addison Rae. Slater is going off like on my Spotify recently. Like I listen to The Worst Girl in America every day. So that Ethel Cain, I went to an indie rock music night at the Bright Side last night and it was so good. So that like I guess like the Smiths, Blur, Pixies, yeah, that kind of music. I think I definitely like my fandoms. I'm kind of like in every genre of music there is. Another thing about me is I definitely want to move out of Brisbane. I think I don't know, but for me personally, Brisbane is quite claustrophobic. I feel like if I go out the streets wearing black shoes, I'm gonna get called an emo. I feel like I dyed my hair pink and I genuinely felt like I was gonna get hate crimed. And yeah, so it's like I kind of want to be somewhere where it feels a little bit like free creatively. So I think like my first, I don't really know, I guess in the world. Like, I want to travel, but my first thought, I guess, was New York, and I think I'm a very New York person. Um, or like even Sydney, like even just like interstate to Sydney, like in the creative areas. I know it's quite competitive, but I'm willing to like give it a try. Just anywhere that isn't Brisbane, I think is my next move. Since my longest talking stage ended, I think like 2 months ago when she messaged me during my 20-minute break in between tutorials at university, and she told me that she didn't think long distance was going to be sustainable. Um, I genuinely had the urge to use the clear room at UQ for the first time in my life. And since then, impulse buying and like walking into Mecca to spray perfume and then leave has been the closest I've felt to like a functioning person. That and thrifting. So I guess this channel is probably gonna be a bunch of like pop culture opinions, thrift videos, kind of things on like film. I guess like my just vlogs, just talking, doing stuff. I guess whatever I feel like posting. I'm not really sure. I didn't really come into this with a plan. Like I said, I want to build a platform, a community, so hopefully I can get closer to kind of pursuing my dreams. And this is kind of like a side thing. Like I'm doing this university thing for like the meantime, but it's not what I want. Please, someone help. Um, but yeah, if you've watched this whole video, send me your PayPal. I'll send you a freaking reward because you're a real one if you watched the whole video. But I also feel like my Aussie accent is like holding me back. Like should I learn an American accent? Because I feel like I'll get more clout if I use an American accent. Because who wants to listen to this Australian accent? I deadass no, not me. I don't think I, dude. I should follow more Australian YouTubers because I follow so many Americans. That's another one of my interests, by the way. Max Norman, Peyton King, Jordan Huxhold, Vanilla Mace, Quen, Lorray, that whole group of people, KDB, dude, biggest fan. Also, Italian Batch has been really like, and friends from work have been really like, what was it? The last video. Anyone want to join a punk band?
Yo, anyone in Bristol want to start a punk
So
band?
I guess like starting off my YouTube channel, that's like my YouTube, like that's what I watch on YouTube, and I think like that's an important thing to include, right? Anyways, next video I will come back with an American accent and some new video ideas. Thank you.